Lore Warrior Aerotech CHP-W5 Chippewa. Overview. Designed as a heavy fighter with both long and short-range combat capabilities, the Chippewa-class fighter was constructed under Star League Contract 20091A. With the fall of Star League, however, most of these fighters found their way into the Lyran Commonwealth. Functioning smoothly whether in space or atmospheric combat, the Chippewa is currently the mainstay of Haus Steiner's heavy fighters. Capabilities. The craft is a large wing design, with cockpit and fuselage attached in the centre. The outer wing areas are fully retractable, making it easy to store the Chippewa aboard a dropship or transport. The large wings allow for tight control in the dead stick landing and for manoeuvrability when fighting in atmosphere. The Plasma Star 270 engine is a relatively simple propulsion unit requiring only limited maintenance. Because the Chippewa requires so little preventative maintenance, it can be assigned as a frontline fighter. Another advantage is the craft's well-rounded weaponry, which provides close support fire as well as long-range capability. The Chippewa's ExoStar missile delivery systems are very reliable and require modular replacement parts. The Chippewa carries near 4 ton of ammunition for its LRMs and 1 ton for the SRMs. When stored in the craft, the ammunition is sectionalized to prevent massive chain reaction explosions. The large number of rounds carried makes this vessel able to support itself in combat for extended periods of time. Bowie Industries provided the Chippewa's laser systems with special insulation to produce heat transfer to the fighter's superstructure. When the lasers are used, the insulation provides the equivalent of 2 extra heat sinks. However, replacement insulation is very limited in the present era, and many Chippewas lost this original insulation long ago. Battle history. In the mad scramble for weapons prior to the outbreak of the First Succession War, the forces of Haus Steiner made a grab for the Bowie Industries plant on the planet Del. Even after the start of the war, the plant ran at full capacity, mass-producing CHP-W5s. This lasted until a raid by Haus Kurita destroyed the facilities once and for all. The CHP-W5s produced on Del thus became the basis of Steiner's heavy fighter forces. The Chippewa's handling in atmospheric combat coupled with its raw firepower make it a formidable opponent. During a raid on the Steiner-controlled planet Lyons by Haus Kurita in 2966, the attackers were met with surprise. Hidden on the moon of Lyons was a strike force of 8 Chippewas, with a small group of Seydlitz support craft. When the Kurita attackers dove onto the planet, they found it only lightly defended. When they finally noticed the Chippewas hiding on the moon, it was too late. Before Kurita could rally, the heavy fighters dove through their attack force. Only 1 Kurita ship escaped the attack. Haus Steiner used an attack force of Chippewas during the famous deep raid on the Marat-controlled world of Ling. In 2987, a task force of several dropships escorted by Chippewas moved secretly to the planet Ling, deep within the Free Worlds League. Dropping onto the planet to destroy the battlemech facilities under construction there, the Chippewa fighters crippled the air defense force before most of the fighters could get off the ground. Many of these victorious Chippewas were unfortunately lost on the long and difficult trip back to the Lyran Commonwealth. In 2991, Haus Marat conducted a retaliatory raid on Haus Steiner, with the goal of capturing several Chippewa fighters for study. A handful of infantry and dispossessed pilots dropped in secret onto the Steiner-held world of Wyatt, penetrated the aerospace base security, and actually flew out with 6 Chippewa fighters. As only 2 of these were fully armed, the battle with Steiner forces trying to block their escape was long and difficult. In the end, 4 of these craft managed to make it out of the Free Worlds League, where they're currently in service to Haus Marat. During a raid on the planet Lyaka in 3012, a Steiner Chippewa and its escorts suddenly encountered an Overlord-class dropship with 6 heavy fighters. Badly outgunned, the Chippewa and its 2 Lucifer escorts held their own for several minutes. In the heat of the battle, the Chippewa, piloted by Dan McCleary, dove in on the Overlord dropship. The explosion of his craft and ammunition crippled the ship's already damaged engines, and the whole craft crashed onto the planet below. The McCleary Award for Heroism was later established within the Lyran Commonwealth. Variants. Several other houses control a handful of Chippewa fighters. Some are the standard W5 models, such as those captured by Haus Marat. Haus Lau also has 3 of these assigned to support of the Chesterton Reserves, but how they came to possess them is not known. House Davian has several, but have modified them in a number of ways. Technically, they're classified as W10s, the Davian variants having more armour and less weaponry than the other models. Notable fighters and pilots. Aerospace pilot Hank McCleary. Hank McCleary is very proud to be the son of the famous Dan McCleary. After being assigned to the Arcturan Guards, Hank himself was the first recipient of the McCleary Award for heroism after he took part in the Battle of Alexandria. His kill record is impressive, and his fighter is family-owned and maintained, thus in perfect working order. Aerotech pilot Georgia Pitts. Georgia Pitts is assigned to the Lyran Guards 19th Regiment's air support. Though her impressive kill record is one of the highest in the Commonwealth, she has not been given a command of her own because she regularly disregards orders if they do not suit her. Those who know tell her many tales of Georgia's obsession with destroying the enemy, even if she must sometimes disobey orders to do so. Her Chippewa, the Vulture, has been repaired many times, but still shows the scars of battle.